I planned a luxurious cruise for my kids as a surprise. Days before, my mother-in-law said, "Your kids will stay here. The cruise is for us." I thought she was joking, but when she showed up with suitcases, I said, "Let me get your ticket." Then I handed her a bus pass. Her face was priceless. I had spent months planning the perfect surprise. A luxurious week-long cruise for my kids and me. Just us. No work emails. No distractions. Just endless blue waves, sunsets melting into the ocean, and the joy of seeing my children experience something magical for the first time. It was supposed to be perfect. Then my mother-in-law found out. At first, it was an offhand comment during a family dinner. "You know," she said, dabbing her mouth with a napkin, "I do love cruises. Such a wonderful way to relax." I smiled politely and nodded. That was it. I thought nothing of it. But then she started asking questions. "What cruise line? What day do you leave? Who's watching the kids?" That last question made me blink. Watching them? They're coming with me. Her lips thinned. "Oh, sweetheart, that's silly. Cruises are exhausting for children. All that sun, all that stimulation. You and I should go instead. We could make it a girls' trip." I laughed. Thought she was joking. No, really. The kids are beyond excited. She didn't laugh back. The next morning, I woke up to a message from her. "I've spoken to your husband. We both agree. It's best if the children stay with me. The cruise is for adults. I'll be over soon to finalize plans." What? I sat up in bed, heart hammering. Had she lost her mind? And why was my husband involved in this? I stormed downstairs, phone in hand. He was already in the kitchen, scrolling on his tablet like nothing was wrong. I held the screen in front of him. "What the HLL is this?" He barely glanced up. "Mom called last night. She thinks the cruise would be better without the kids. And honestly, she has a point." My jaw dropped. "You agree with her?" "Look," he sighed, setting down his coffee. "You've been stressed lately. Maybe this would be good for you. Let Mom handle things here." "That's not what this is about," I shot back. "This is a family vacation, not some getaway for your mother. She just wants to help. Help, help." A chilling realization settled over me. He wasn't on my side. He was on hers. I took a breath. "The kids and I are going. That's final." He hesitated, then shrugged. "Do whatever you want." That should have been the end of it. But I underestimated her. Because 2 days before departure, my mother-in-law showed up at my doorstep. With luggage. I stared at her. "Why are you?" She smiled sweetly. "I told you, dear. The cruise is for us. The kids are staying here." I laughed. Because surely, this was a joke. But she didn't laugh back. That's when I knew. She was serious. And she had planned this. I stood there, gripping the doorframe so tightly my nails dug into the wood. My mother-in-law smiled as if she had won. As if this was already decided. She stepped past me, rolling her suitcase inside like she owned the place. "You didn't pack yet, did you?" "Oh dear. We don't have much time. The ship leaves soon." I forced a breath. "Stay calm. Think." I turned, arms crossed. "I don't remember inviting you." She let out a light laugh. "Sweetheart, no need for dramatics. I know you're overwhelmed, so I took care of everything. The kids will be safe here with me. You and I will have a wonderful time. I even bought matching outfits for our formal dinners." She was delusional. I glanced toward the staircase. My kids were still asleep. Thank God. They didn't need to see this. I turned back. "You're not coming. And my kids are definitely not staying with you." Her smile didn't even falter. "Oh, honey, I think you misunderstand. This isn't up for discussion." Something inside me snapped. I grabbed her suitcase and, with one sharp yank, tossed it outside. It tumbled down the porch steps, flipping open on impact. Clothes spilled onto the pavement. A bottle of perfume rolled onto the grass. She gasped. "How dare you? How dare I?" My voice was ice. "You show up at my door, act like you can take my children away, and expect me to just go along with it?" Her expression darkened. "You're making a mistake." "No, you are." And then, footsteps. My husband appeared in the hallway, rubbing sleep from his eyes. "What's going on?" Perfect timing. I turned to him, voice deadly calm. "Your mother seems to think this cruise is for her. That our children are staying behind." He blinked. "Wait. Mom, what?" She touched his arm. "Sweetheart, I already told you. This is what's best for everyone. You agreed with me." His face paled. Oh, so now he realized how insane she sounded? I didn't let him answer. "Let me make something very clear." My eyes locked onto hers. "The kids and I are going on that cruise. You are not." Her jaw clenched. "You don't mean that." I smiled. "Oh, I do. In fact." I reached into my purse, pulled out a small slip of paper, and held it out to her. Her eyes lit up. "See? I knew you'd come around." She grabbed it, then froze. It wasn't a cruise ticket. It was a bus pass. Her face twisted. What is this?" I leaned in, lowering my voice so only she could hear. "That's your ride home." A long silence. Then, her face twisted with pure rage. "You'll regret this," she hissed. I gave her the sweetest smile. "I doubt it." I turned, stepping back inside. And this time, when I closed the door, I locked it. Silence filled the house as I locked the door, my pulse still hammering in my ears. I leaned against it, taking a deep breath. My mother-in-law had lost. She stood outside with nothing but a bus pass and her spilled luggage. I expected her to scream, to pound on the door, to make a dramatic scene. She didn't. Instead, I heard the slow, deliberate click of her suitcase being shut, then the sharp clack of her heels against the pavement. She was leaving. Good. I turned to find my husband still standing there, arms crossed, eyes darting between me and the door. Did you really have to throw her stuff outside? I let out a sharp laugh. That's what you're worried about. She's my mother. And these are our children. I shot back. My children. And she thought she could just take them away like she had any say in this family. He exhaled, rubbing his face. You're blowing this out of proportion. I laughed again. I'm blowing it out of proportion? Your mother showed up with suitcases, expecting to hijack our vacation. And you backed her up. Because I thought she just wanted to help. Help? I repeated. Help. I took a step closer, my voice low. She wasn't helping. She was taking. And you let her. He shifted uncomfortably. Look, I didn't think she'd actually, but she did. I shook my head. And the worst part? You didn't stop her. You let her think she could control me. Control us. He swallowed. Looked away. I studied his face, searching for something. Anything. That might convince me he wasn't completely spineless. I found nothing. The realization settled like a stone in my stomach. This wasn't just about the cruise. It was about everything. The way she pushed boundaries. The way he let her. The way I had to constantly fight for my own place in my home. I was tired. My kids deserved better. I deserved better. His voice was quieter now. What do you want me to do? I stared at him. Nothing. Because I'm done waiting for you to step up. I turned on my heel, heading for the stairs. The kids and I are leaving tomorrow. You can explain to your mother why she's not invited. I didn't wait for his response. I didn't care anymore. Morning came too fast. I barely slept. Not because I regretted anything. I didn't. But because I kept waiting. Waiting for my husband to say something, do something. He didn't. Not that I was surprised. By the time I finished packing, the kids were bouncing with excitement. Their little backpacks strapped on, talking a mile a minute about all the things they wanted to do on the ship. It filled me with warmth. This was why I planned the trip. I zipped up my suitcase, exhaling. All right, everyone ready? A voice from behind. Going somewhere. I turned to see him standing in the doorway, arms crossed. I leveled him with a look. You already know the answer to that. You're really doing this? I gestured around the room. Do I look like I'm joking? His jaw clenched. Mom called. Of course she did. She said you humiliated her. I smiled. Good. His brows shot up. You think this is funny? Not at all, I said flatly. But I do think it's long overdue. He stepped closer. You're being unfair. I laughed, an exhausted, bitter sound. I'm being unfair? She just wanted to be included. I met his gaze, steady and cold. No, she wanted control. And she thought she could bulldoze her way into getting it. I grabbed my suitcase handle. But she lost. His expression hardened. You are being dramatic. I turned, ready to roll my suitcase past him. Move. Or what? I met his eyes. Or I leave, and you never see me the same way again. Silence. A thick, suffocating silence. For a second, I almost thought he'd stop me. Say something that would fix this. Make me believe he was worth salvaging. But he didn't. He just stood there. And that told me everything I needed to know. I exhaled, shaking my head. Then I walked past him, the kids following close behind. I didn't look back. Not even once. The airport was bustling, filled with the kind of energy that only comes from people chasing excitement, adventure, or escape. I gripped my suitcase handle a little tighter. For me, it was all three. The kids were practically vibrating with excitement, their little hands gripping mine as we made our way toward check-in. I should have been riding that same high, but a knot sat heavy in my stomach. Not regret, not doubt, just the weight of knowing that once I stepped onto that plane, something in my life would never be the same again. I was okay with that. I had to be. We reached the counter, and I handed over our passports. The attendant smiled, typing away. Headed somewhere exciting? Before I could answer, a voice cut through the noise. Wait. My entire body stiffened. I turned slowly, already knowing who it was. My husband. Breathless, disheveled, like he had run all the way here. For a moment, we just stared at each other. His chest rose and fell with heavy breaths, eyes darting between me, the kids, the suitcases. Like he was finally seeing the reality of what was happening. Don't do this, he said, voice rough. I inhaled deeply, exhaled slowly. Do what exactly? Walk away, he said. Leave like this. I studied him. What did you expect? That I'd just let things go back to normal? His jaw tightened. You're blowing this out of. Stop. I held up a hand. Stop saying that. I am not blowing this out of proportion. You let her manipulate you. You let her undermine me, us, over and over. And my voice wavered for a second, but I steadied it. I'm done. His face twisted, a mix of frustration and something dangerously close to fear. What do you want me to do? Just cut my mother out of my life. I stared at him for a long moment. Then I shook my head. I never asked you to do that. He opened his mouth, but I cut him off. I asked you to choose. Silence. His lips parted, like he had something to say, some excuse, some half-baked apology, something to try and fix this. But nothing came out. Because he knew. He had already made his choice a long time ago. And so had I. The announcement for our flight crackled over the speakers. Final boarding call. I turned back to the attendant and took my tickets. We're ready to board. The kids clutched my hands tighter as I led them toward security. I could feel him standing there, watching, waiting for me to turn back. I didn't. Not this time. Not ever again. The cruise was everything I had hoped for and more. My kids laughed more in those 7 days than they had in the last 7 months. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. But freedom comes with a cost. By the time we got back, I found the messages waiting for me. Apologies. Justifications. Begging me to talk. I didn't respond. Not until I got the final one. She's furious. Says you embarrassed her beyond repair. She's demanding I cut you off. That I choose between you and her. A pause. Then, I told her I wasn't going to choose. But I think you're right. I already did. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I turned off my phone, looking out at the sunset painting my window in soft, golden light. Some endings aren't dramatic. Some aren't loud. Some are just quiet. But they still mean everything.